Good morning and welcome to No Pro Trading. My name is Jukebox, and this is morning market analysis on the 18th of July at 8:21. Uh, let's take a dive right into it. We're going to start off with SPY and go down the list of stocks that I've been following recently. Um, if you were here yesterday, we had a support level that was reacted to back here, and we have continued this rally so far. So what I've done is I've plotted a trend line that if broken could signify at least a correction of this structure, but otherwise the most immediate support is this plotted zone here. So we're going to want to watch to see if we get a reaction to these levels, or even if we can avoid printing a new low from here. That's SPY. If we look at SPY on ES is curling a little bit more than SPY is. However, if we draw that same trend line, that connect to support, and I can also draw most immediate potential support levels, of which we're already got a dip into. So let's see if we can avoid printing a new low from here, and if we can avoid getting under 63.37.75. Next on the list, Bitcoin. Bitcoin has reacted to support levels in this region. So now I've measured levels for this region, and so far the levels are holding. Let's see if we can avoid getting a break of this trend line, which should keep us in upward momentum so long as it's not broken. Next on the list, I got PayPal. I was in contracts for PayPal yesterday that I let go in profit. Um, I let them go because I foresee a pullback coming up soon. Granted, the pullback can start from up here, but I figured risk to reward, it was better to let them go. There's nothing wrong with taking profit. There is something wrong with throwing away money. I'd much rather leave money on the table than to flush it down the toilet. Okay. So now we're on PayPal here. We have made a slightly higher high this morning. So I'll adjust the most relative. Actually, it's not most relative. The most immediate fragile supports would be right here. So let's see if we can hold these levels. This is quite fragile, so the next levels that we'll be following on our Discord is in this area here. After PayPal, we have T-Mobile. T-Mobile moved deeper into support yesterday. So far, we've seen a small relief rally. So let's plot the most immediate support levels here. And let's see if we can hold these levels. If we can't hold these levels, I can absolutely see us go further into the long-term support levels. Okay. After T-Mobile, we got Google. Google did print higher local highs. She ran a decent amount. So what I'll do is I'll give some support levels here for if we for if which we get a reaction to, should take us above the sell blocks up here. We'll be watching Google today. Next we have AT&T, which I believe is in the same area as it's been for 2, 3 days now. I've plotted support levels that we seem to try to be reacting to. I'll plot now the next most immediate support levels that we should look for reactions from. If we get them, we can definitely get a relief rally a little further, a little higher up. AT&T, Supermicro, we plotted some support levels here, of which so far we are trying to hold. Let's I'll plot this nano support here. Let's see if these levels hold. It is quite fragile to expect nano levels to hold, but with the current market conditions, it's it's been significant. It has. You can see how significant and how relative these levels that I plot are. And anybody can do this. Anybody can plot these levels. You just gotta be patient and study. Study a lot. Hymns. Hymns is next. I believe I said yesterday if we held local lows that we could see a nice big bounce. Said big bounce would and should, if happens, break that trend line and potentially these highs up into 55 region. So I've drawn some nano supports here to see if these hold as market comes to the open. Silver, I'm forever long-term bullish. However, we have gotten a substantial rally in the last couple of months, and I am expecting a pullback. At the moment, I have some resistance levels plotted that if we get a reaction from, should send us down lower into a support region that'll give us better prices to enter for longer term. I'll be watching silver closely today. Next on the chart is oil. Oil at 8 a.m. yesterday, I sent a update on oil on my Discord right here. It said potential head and shoulders. That's exactly what played out from oil futures from 66.39 to 68 yesterday. So let's see if we can break this local high here. And I will plot immediate. I'll plot relative supports, which would be these, so long as this top holds. If it doesn't hold, then the levels just move with the price. Okay. Intel, the dinosaur. Intel. Okay, Intel reacting to support levels. Reacting to support levels, but unable to break through this sell block here. This could also be a head and shoulders. Intel might be a good play. We're gonna keep an eye on Intel at the open. I'm going to replot these immediate resistances, these immediate supports. We've gotten a reaction already to the 618. Let's see if that reaction holds. Adversely, I will plot relative resistances of which we're already getting reactions from. So we want to keep an eye out on this zone as well. All right. This structure could be done head and shoulders into inverse head and shoulders. That'd be interesting. We'll keep an eye on this one. We'll even draw a support trend line here, which is already starting to break. We're trying to break. So we'll watch Intel on the watch list for the day. PayPal on the watch list for the day. Google on the watch list. Silver on the watch list. Blooming Brands is one that I anticipate I'll be removing from our daily updates. Um, while it provides good opportunity for newer investors, being that the contracts are cheaper, the stock is cheaper, and it kind of gives you some diversity into the board and dining um, area of services. Um, we've been tracking this downside for some time. We finally got the pullback that we were waiting for, reacting so far to this zone, this plotted zone, this plotted support zone. So we're going to take this off for now, and I've plotted immediate supports. So if we get a reaction here, we could get pushed back into this trend line at least to get a relief rally. If that happens, the relief rally should be able to take us at least to 981, 966, somewhere in this cell block area. All right, that's Blooming Brands. Now we're going into my favorite place so far, LAC. LAC I've been tracking for a few weeks, granted months. Um, I had been following. I had been following that we had a potential bottom structure here. We came up, tested support levels here, and now we're starting. We did the same again, little 1-2 setup. There should be the third wave now. The third wave can take us as far as 371, which is actually where I'm considering starting to flip my position. I have 20 stocks in the joint account with the undisclosed investor. We're already up 22% on the position. I think I bought initially down here and again like here, and then just started ripping. So we'll keep on an eye on LAC. If we can get up to that level, I would definitely sell our positions and wait for the pullback to get back in. So keep an eye on this zone up here, these target areas. That's LAC, Lithium Americas. Then Tesla. We had a great day on Wednesday, I believe it was, with Tesla. We played calls. Um, so now, while we have gotten a reaction to the first level here, this bounce doesn't seem substantial enough. So I'd like to see if we get a reaction to the bottom of this cell block to push us down further into the support region. If this initial support region breaks, then we are looking at these next support levels. Okay. In the meantime, though, these are our first target levels for any dip. And we have Misty. Misty. Misty still showing strength. Um, I mean, we were already breaking broken local highs. Let's say this is a 1-2 setup. Where can this take us? So we're already almost reaching. Excuse me. We're already almost reaching the first target level here. So I have one stock in Misty that I purchased over here. Um, in this area, we sell those, and man, unless we break through, this could be another. This one's a little sideways, but this could project. This could potentially be another Head and Shoulders, inverse Head and Shoulders playing out. But we'll keep an eye on Misty today. We'll keep an eye on Misty. And last but not least, my newest addition, and probably my favorite as far as long-term potential goes, and that's Webull. I didn't even know about Webull until a few days ago, but now I do. I called. So to be transparent, we were looking at this time frame here. Um, I wanted a pullback. right? I wanted a pullback. So I had this drawn out. Let me double check the Discord. Yeah, I had that drawn out. What was that? 2252. That's not the right one. Weeble. So we're looking at. I was looking at the 2 hour on this 2 hour. Okay, so I was tracking. So this is the structure that we're seeing in the picture. I was tracking that I wanted to pull back from this. So I had this drawn out as such. And you can see it's almost the same levels. Now, while we did get a reaction to the 618, when we got here, I wanted to get a pullback into the zone before entering, and we never really got that. However, the whole time that we were here, I was talking about 15 calls for August 15th. Um, I never got my entry because I never got my pullback. Um, I, I believe in risk management. I believe I prioritize risk management. Actually, we did get a reaction right in the morning. Something I had drawn didn't get the reaction I was looking for, or the reaction that I had planned for. And if my plans don't execute exactly how they happen, I don't trade. I'd rather leave money on the table than to flush it down the toilet. I say that over and over again. I also say that 70% of trading should be risk management. Right. Well, that's my last talk. Thank you guys for stopping in to see the daily market analysis. Again, my name is Joel, and thank you for watching No Pro. Please like, please subscribe, please join Discord. Joining the Discord can open the door to perspectives you've never seen. Um, I give you guys levels for which to wait reactions for which to enter. All right. Thanks again, and have a great trading day. Hope to see you soon on the Discord.